The portal is glowing gold. Today is Friday. And this is Colred Plays Raid Shadow Legends. So I guess we're about to pull some sacred shards. I hope you're ready for it. Let's get started. Just a quick channel announcement. I have a very cool collab coming out this weekend. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss it. And as always, please smash that like button and consider joining our Discord community. It's a really good community. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, that's it for now. Let's get back to the video. Before we get started on the actual shard pulls, I do want to address two types of comments that I have seen with some regularity on my past shard pull videos. Now, I'm not mad about anything. I'm not trying to call anybody out or start any fights or anything. I just want to clarify some issues so that you and I are on the same page. The first type of comment I'd like to talk about is there have been a few viewers who on my shard pull videos have pointed out that it takes me 6 or 8 or 10 minutes to sometimes get to the point where I'm actually pulling shards on these videos. And they're like, stop talking, start pulling shards. Like, it's a shard pull video. Don't you get that? And to those viewers, if you feel that way, I have to respectfully say, no, I disagree. This channel is about empowering players. I like sharing information, having conversations that make us all better at Raid. So talking about things that reflect on when and why and how we pull shards, I think those are relevant pieces of information. And I also enjoy those conversations. So I will continue to do that on this channel. And I appreciate the feedback. I have listened to the feedback and I have decided to ignore that demographic. If you don't like the way I do shard pulls, you have several choices. One is you could just go ahead and fast forward past the conversation and just get to the point where I am pulling shards. That is entirely in your power to do, and more power to you. Or you could, of course, go and watch some other content creators whose format is more to your liking. You should watch YouTube content that you enjoy. You shouldn't have to watch somebody who you find boring or uninteresting or annoying. So if that's how you feel about me, that's fine. That's fine. We can agree to disagree and no hard feelings from this end. Now, the second type of comment that I would like to address is another comment that I see sometimes about content creators kind of feeding the beast, that when content creators put out shard pull videos, we try to incite the viewers to pull shards as well and potentially spend money, maybe in unhealthy ways, spend even more money than they should to get shards. And I would like to push back at that, at least for my channel. I agree that content creators are part of a vast array or network of resources that promote games. I enjoy Raid. This is a game I like. I have no problem promoting this game. But again, if you've watched my channel with any frequency, you know that I dislike Plarium's aggressive monetization and gacha games in general. I don't like the way they monetize their games. And so I am a free-to-play player. I promote free-to-play values, and I try to teach players how to succeed and potentially spend no money or at least as little money as possible. I also try to recommend to players that they spend in healthy ways. And one of the ways I do that is through my shard pull videos. Because I'm going to talk about in just a moment why I am pulling shards today, kind of philosophically how that fits my channel and the free-to-play mindset. And hopefully that model will encourage other players to put away that credit card or at least avoid the rage pulls that might ensue if they were watching something else. So I think those two types of comments, while valid, and everybody has their own opinion, are things I disagree with. And so you should know that for this channel, at least, we're always going to have a conversation before we pull shards. And a lot of that's going to be focused on why and when we're pulling shards, because I think we need to use our resources very intentionally. And that's one tool, one way to avoid spending in unhealthy ways on this game. And I think that's valuable. I think that's valuable. And that's why I'm here. So that's what I'm going to do. So I hope you are okay with that. Now, I do want to talk about the shard pulls that we're going to do today. As you can see, I've built up a pretty healthy pool of 32 sacred shards. Part of this was intentional. Part of it was accidental. The intentional part is that I'm always saving sacred shards. And based on where my account is 3.5 years in, I don't have a lot of roster needs. So I don't always pull sacred shards during every event. Sometimes I skip events. Recently, I also skipped a fusion. Now, that's typically where I spend my sacred shards in fusions and Titan events for champion souls. But I skipped the last fusion, and I was saving sacred shards for the guaranteed Freya Deck of Fate because everybody thought that that was going to require shards. And in fact, it didn't. It required soul stones and champion training. Now, I did actually complete that Deck of Fate. I know some people disagreed with me on whether or not I should go for that because it was an awful Deck of Fate. And we didn't want to justify like the changes that Plarium made. But ultimately, I debated with myself. I talked about this in the live stream that I did. And I decided that for myself and for my account, that this was something I wanted to do. Again, you don't have to agree with my reasoning. Like, it's okay that you disagree with me. I don't think that's a problem. But I want people to recognize that it's always an intentional decision. It's not an impulsive one. So even if you disagree with me, you have to say, well, at least Colred considered it. He considered it carefully and he came to a judgment. And that's ultimately what I think our best weapon is against the monetization, the aggressive monetization of games that are currently going on, especially in the gacha genre. So I did get Freya. Now, in today's video, we have not only the 2-time Sacred Shard event, but we have this Path of the Fate Weaver where we can get a 5-star soul for Freya. Now, if you do the math here, this soul is going to cost 19 Sacred Shards to get. You can also upgrade champions. So you can do some champion training here and get points as well. But if you're just going to do it with Sacred Shards, it would take 19 Sacred Shards. Now, I saved what I thought was going to be 20 Sacred Shards for guaranteed Freya, and what I'm finding is I need 19 instead for the soul. So I have the resources, they have been saved, and I do want that 5-star soul because I think it would be very valuable and it would increase the value of my Freya significantly. I don't want to pass this up. However, I also don't want to spend 19 of my Sacred Shards. I'd like to hold on to close to 20 on the off chance that there's a guaranteed champion in the next month or so. Now, I would feel comfortable going down to maybe as low as like 15 or 16 Sacred Shards because I do compile Sacred Shards relatively quickly at this stage of my account. But I would feel better sticking around 18 or 19. So I don't have a specific number of Sacred Shards in mind. I think I'm going to pull at least 13, maybe 14. I know I'm going to pull 12, guaranteed I'm going to pull 12. And during a 2-times event, that's not a bad thing. I might be able to get 2 or maybe even 3 legendaries. Hopefully I pull a Kymar. That's one of the very few champions who could benefit my account in significant ways. We have the 10 times event that is going on for Glaciad here. I think it's Glaciad or Glycad. I don't know, it's a little bit of a weird name here. You can see, I think that's based on Glacier, even though it's spelled differently. Glacier of the Meltwater. So I think it's going to be Glaciad. That's what I'm going to say. He's a pretty good champion. I would call him an A tier champion. I don't think he's S tier. A lot of people compare him to Duchess. I think Duchess is significantly better. And I think she's God tier. So you can make an argument for him being S tier. I think on my account, realistically, I don't know if he'd have a spot. I think he could be good in Hydra and a couple other places, but I don't really have a need for him. He'd be cool to have, though, so I don't mind him on the 10 times. And I'm going to try to complete the rest of the path with champion training. So if I get to the end of the weekend and I still need to pull 1 or 2 more shards to complete that path, I will get the 5-star soul. I'm not going to spend 12 shards and miss the soul. That's not going to happen. So if I'm going to spend any shards at all, I'm going to guarantee myself that soul. But what I want to do is pull most of the shards now and then do champion training and then leave that shard, those extra shards as an opportunity at the end to close the gap quickly if I need to. So like I said, I don't have a hard and fast number here, but I want you to understand my reasoning. I do think it's very good value to pull these 2 times ancient Sacred Shards. And that's true, like whether or not you're 3.5 years in. 2 times Sacred Shard events are great ways to build your roster with legendaries. And we've got this extra value here in the Path of the Fate Weaver. Even if you're not going for the soul, there are legendary tomes there. There are soul stones there. There's energy there. There's all sorts of things you can get just for free because you're probably pulling shards anyway. That's it. That's my 9-minute rant. We're going to go ahead and get to some actual shard pulls right now. So like I said, I think the only non-void legendary that I really, really want is Kymar. There are a few others out there who I would certainly be happy about, But I think Kymar is my number one desired non-void legendary. Remember, I still don't have a Geomancer, so if he pops up, we're going to celebrate that as well. I don't expect it. I think I will never get a Geomancer. I don't need him. It's just nice to check that box and have it done. And that's it. That's it. So now we are going to go ahead and pull some shards. Really hoping for some multiple gold. It's a rare event that I get 2 or 3, legendaries in a single event. Like, that doesn't happen. So we're just going to go ahead and enjoy these pulls and see how we do. All right, we're starting off with an epic. It is Carlinia, who's okay. I don't even know if I have a copy of Carlinia. I think I do. Another epic. Firegun Isbel. I really like Firegun Isbel. I think she is still part of the Lady Mikage fusion. I have my Lady Mikage. But actually, she's pretty cool, and I could empower mine now and potentially take her to 6 stars. And I think she would be a hard-hitting champion. So she might be worth building in the near future. Okay, come on. Let's see some gold somewhere along the line here. 3. By the way, I am nowhere close to Mercy. I think I was probably started 2 shards in, something like that. Not a lot. So that was 3. Again, we started with 32 here, right? All right, 4. Sanguinia is very cool. I will definitely empower my Sanguinia. If you don't know about Sanguinia, she has a great kit. She's a really good support. I just learned about her earlier this year during the Hell Hades free-to-play challenge. But she's absolutely an excellent champion. You should consider building her if you have her. Here we go. First gold. Come on. It's the 10 times. It's the 10 times. Wow, we hit the 10 times Odin. We backed that up with the 10 times on the Glaciad. Cool. Absolutely cool. That is very nice. I definitely will have to consider building him. Like I said, I don't know if he has a place in my roster, but it's always fun to hit the 10 times champion. And it is always fun to just get gold and get a new, actual good legendary into the roster. So he is an AoE reviver. He gives you an increased attack. He gives you an increased defense, increased accuracy, really good buffer. He's even got multiple freezes on his A1. I don't think he's a Fire Knight hard mode champion, although you could probably find a way to get him into that squad if you wanted to. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, we're going to keep going, but that's 1 gold down. Now let's see if we can actually have 2 golds in a Colred Plays shard pull video. That never happens, right? Or it did happen just recently in my Odin video. I happened to get Torment as well. I think that's the first time in like a year I've hit double gold. I think I hit double gold 1 other time. I've definitely hit double gold in the 1+1 events. I'm not talking about that. So we have a few more shards here to go. Okay. I think we're going to pull at least 5 more. I'd like to hit 1 more gold before we ended this video. That would be really nice. It's cool to get the 10 times champion. It's good to know it actually works. Like, it's good to know that that's a real thing. Just in case you were wondering. Okay, come on. Don't purple me all the way out. I'm down to 21 shards. I think I'm going to pull probably 3 more. That feels like the right number, but I might go 1 more if I haven't hit. Or if I hit early, I might stop one short. Down to 20. Come on. All right, come on, let's get it. Let's get it. Get another gold. That's my second Barroth the Bloodsoaked. It took me 3.5 years to pull this guy the first time. And then literally I pulled him in back-to-back events. He's an okay champion. I don't think he's a great epic, but. Right, is this the last one or do we have to pull 1 more? Come on. There we go. Double gold. Stop on the gold. All right, Samar Gem Cursed. I don't think he's a phenomenal legendary, but he is actually new to the account, and he does have some uses. He's not a champion that you can't build or can't play with. He's got this interesting passive. Blocks incoming damage and places a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn when they receive a hit that would drop their HP below 30%. He can be really tough to clear off the board sometimes. Chance of stealing 2 random buffs before attacking places an extra hit on enemies that have any buffs left. So, okay, I don't know how good he is. Let me know if you have some Gem Curse. Let me know in the comments below. What do you use him for? And is he actually any good? So pretty cool to hit my number exactly, get down to 18. My number, like I said, it was somewhere between, stopping at 20 to 17. But I feel really good about stopping at 18. And I feel really good about hitting that second legendary. That's always fun. That's always fun. So yeah, also, you know what? In the comments below, let me know how you feel about my little mini rant at the beginning of this video. Do you agree? Do you feel okay with what I've said today? Or do you feel like, hey man, you know, shard pull videos are something else. You should just be doing it for fun, as opposed to trying to teach us something. Like, we don't need to be taught every day, Colred. We're okay with just having fun. Like, that's fine too. Just let me know. All right, that is it for me today. Thanks so much for hanging out. I have been Colred, and I will see you in another video soon.